In the bleak midwinter. Well, they certainly got it right if they were thinking of this evening. Pouring with rain, and it's bitterly cold. You at home, I suppose, are putting up the Christmas cards. And I wouldn't mind betting that most of those Christmas cards show lovely, warm, Victorian, Dickensian scenes. Well, what was it like in Victorian times? Christmas, say, in the 1840s. Let's go and find out.
And then he said to me, well, you shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Oh, Annie, open the door.
Oh, I do hope this is Bruce. Oh, good evening, Annie. My goodness me, what an awful night. One of the Thames is frozen over this here. Oh, my dear. Hello. Nice to see you again.
Oh, what a lovely fire, anyway.
Look, look, the waits are coming, the waits are coming.
Oh, wait.
Such a dreadful night. Do let them in.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's the waits are coming good.
It should brighten up the evening.
Yes, do come on in. Come on in.
Welcome.
Very nice of you to call. Awful night, isn't it?
Do move round.
Come on in, yes.
And now that you're here, won't you sing us one of your carols?
Yes, ma'am.
Hosanna in excelsis. In so below, below, let steeple bells be swung, and yo, by priest and people sung. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Pray you dutifully prime your matin chime he ring us. May you beautifully rhyme your eve-time song he sing us. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis.
It's very decent of you to make this punch for us, Peter, you know.
Oh, my dear chap, think nothing of it. I enjoy doing things like this. It's a nice little recipe that I read from a newspaper in Portsmouth, a young chap called Charles Dickens, who seems to be making something of a name for himself out there.
Ah, yes, we've heard of him, haven't we? Yes, yes. What's in the punch?
Ah, I'm glad you asked that. Well, in fact, he says in his recipe that you have the rinds of 3 lemons, followed by 2 handsful of lump sugar, and a pint of rum. And that is the essence of the thing. But then comes the excitement. What you need is a glass of brandy. Good brandy, warmed in a spoon and then ignited with a taper. Poured into the liquid, and the whole thing flames for 3 to 4 minutes. At the end of that, you squeeze in the lemons, pour in the hot water, which I have just done, and Mr. Dickens requests that we then taste it. And that is the crucial point. Here we go.
Good, is it?
Delicious. Delicious. Now, we're not ready yet. Annie, where are you? Annie, come here. Mr. Bruce, I must commend you on the standard of your servants.
Ah.
Where we are, we can't get any staff for love or money. Annie, take this to the kitchen, put it in the oven, and keep it warm for 10 minutes. Then it will be ready to be drunk. And perhaps you'd like to take the weights with you.
Would you like to follow me, sir?
I promise you, sirs and madam, that you will thaw out very quickly with this punch. One word of warning, however. Never allow your coachman to drink it. Because if he is going to be driving you, then it's very likely that one of Sir Robert's peelers will be arresting him for being intoxicated in charge of a carriage.
Quite so, yes. I think we'll concentrate on the Christmas presents and the Christmas tree, don't you? There's lovely big presents for somebody. I bet they'll enjoy that present when they open it. It's huge, isn't it? And that one's large, isn't it? There, let's put it there, shall we? Now, of course, this is a lovely Christmas tree. It's so pretty. Do you know, this is the first time we've had a Christmas tree here. It's the idea of Prince Albert, you know. He brought some over a couple of years ago, and I'm told they've got 3 at Windsor this year. It's come all the way from Germany, just like Prince Albert himself, of course. Well, it's so useful, isn't it, for hanging these nice silk baubles they've made. And they've got food on here as well, which really, I suppose, we'll eat by the end of the day. Absolutely splendid, isn't it? Oh, Hughes! Hello! How are you? Now, how did the hunt go?
Oh, the wretched animal went to earth, lost the scent.
Really?
Oh.
Now, what you got there?
Some holly.
Holly?
Gave it to the vicar gave it to me. Says it's uncomfortable and unsightly. Can't understand it. Useful to you.
Well, give it to Annie, will you?
There we are, Annie. Never mind the holly, anyhow. Now, look here, Parker. I've got a surprise for everyone.
What surprise, Hughes?
Yes, my shepherd's outside. I never remember the fellow's name.
Shepherd?
Good evening, all. You have that one then, Miss Katie, and you have this one, Miss Sally, and you to give them some names so I knows what to call them, because the names I give them outside in the rain want the names I'd repeat in here. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Butler.
My father always told me to doff my hat to the aristocracy.
That's quite right.
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir. The last time I see you, you was out hunting, and you see a magpie, sir, and you forgot to doff your hat, so you must always doff your hat to a magpie, sir. And the old horse, he went nose down, and you come over in the mud and that, and you was all wiping it all off that lovely pink
Yes,
coat,
well, there's
sir.
enough to worry about
And
that.
your breath didn't half smell. Now, that's
Yes,
interesting, because the thing about lambs, see, and cows, see, is they was given the gift of sweet breath by the good Lord, because when little Jesus was born, he was all a shivery there in the manger, and the old cow drew the hay over it, sir, see, and then the Lord says, now forevermore your breath's going to smell nice, see, and you're going to carry your animals for 9 months, because you can't have the soul of the one, but you're going to carry it the same way, so that's what the Lord said. They do say, see, that Jesus shines out the eye of a lamb, and a witch can't change into a lamb. See, she changed into a magpie, that's what brought you off your horse, sir, but she can't change into a lamb, sir. The trouble with these lambs was they never looked at me like they'd be looking at me now, because that's good luck. They looked the other way, they walked away from me, and that means a better harvest next year, sir, and we're going to be very short of bread again. Very hungry we've been, sir, very hungry. Yes, sir, very hungry we've been. Yes, a nice little lamb. You hold them, Miss Katie. Yeah, don't get that lovely dress. What a lovely dress. Don't you get that lovely dress all not dirty, will you? Because it's a nice little lamb, and there are going to be some nice lambs for the squire later on. And one thing, perhaps, so you won't feed your horses quite so much, you'll get us a few decent fences later on around, because he says that when these little lambs grows up, they do get out, you know, because the young mistress, she come to teach these little girls at the school, and she says to them, now I'm going to teach you some arithmetic, she says. Now, 100 lambs in a field, 5 gets out, how many left? And the little boy says, no. She said, you don't know your arithmetic. He says, you don't know air sheets. He says,
Now, look, Butler, I think that's enough gossiping. You better get back to the fold, I
yes,
think.
sir. Good night,
Go
sir.
round to the kitchens and you may find something.
Something to
for
eat,
you.
sir?
Maybe a drink.
Something to eat would be nice.
Be off with you now.
Thanks, sir, thanks.
It really was a surprise, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Yes. Quite
Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, the postman has just brought this.
Oh, Annie, thank you. Sarah, hold my phone a moment, dear. My dear, I think it's one of these new Christmas cards. It's so pretty.
really?
Look at that, isn't it beautiful?
Oh, yes.
And it's one of the trick cards. Look, if you look at it that way up, you can see the faces, and if you turn it the other way up, the faces are different.
Yes.
Isn't it splendid?
Yes, I've seen some rather better ones in the club now. Scantily clad ladies, yes. Seems to me to be something of an expensive habit, this Christmas card business, doesn't it?
Well, perhaps the cards themselves are a little expensive because, you know, they hire only the best artists to paint them. But the postage isn't expensive since the post office introduced it. Just 1 penny for a stamp. Isn't it marvellous?
Very good.
And, you know, I was reading in the Times only this week. They said they thought what a splendid idea Christmas cards were because it gives one such an opportunity to communicate with one's friends. So much better than visiting cards, don't you think, Peter?
Well, I must say they are very attractive, but I don't think they'll catch on, do you?
No, well, I don't know. I want some Christmas carols. I like Christmas carols myself, don't you?
Oh, Christmas carols would be lovely.
Well, come on, Harmon. Bring them on.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring, good tidings we bring. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us some figgy pudding, now bring us some figgy pudding, now bring us some figgy pudding, and bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your king. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. for we all like figgy pudding, for we all like figgy pudding, for we all like figgy pudding, so bring some tea, oh, tiny to king. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we won't go till we've got some, we won't go till we've got some, and we won't go till we've got some, so bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Right, come along, everybody. It's Christmas Eve after all. And of course, Father Christmas comes tonight, doesn't he? And we all know, don't we, that Father Christmas was really St. Nicholas. And so I've got a poem. There we are. Find a place there. I've got a nice poem to read to you. It's called A Visit from St. Nicholas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. When what to my wondering eyes should appear than a miniature sledge and 8 tiny reindeer. With the little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a minute it must be St. Nick. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. Then laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. And I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.